get into some shape. Hey folks, welcome to Apocalyptic. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. I'm ticked off. I know I was 15 minutes into the show and I looked down and I realized I didn't push record. I'm so sick of when I do that. I don't do it that much. But the thing that makes it even worse is I have a guest here and we were in the middle of a conversation and I looked over and I hadn't pushed it. My guest, the lovely Maria Fernandez, Ms. Valdez, my bride.
Yes.
Sitting here.
Well, the good thing about us being old is that we don't remember shit anyway.
No.
Sorry, I just totally ruined the...
Yeah, now I have to put it explicit. It's an explicit show.
I'm sorry.
You're worse than Sherry.
Hey now. So... But we don't remember anything. So it's like we're starting fresh from as if we never even had a conversation.
Right. Well, so now you know some of the stuff that I'm going to ask you because I already asked you. We already did half the interviews. I don't even remember if I could say what I was going to say.
All I know is that I'm still fired up and I'm still more than happy to talk about Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, we talked about so many great things.
So many things.
678-348-0008 is the listener line for the show if you want to call in and tell opinions on anything we talk about.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out now in case I forget, because I'm so forgetful. I might
that's also
forget
your
later.
Dateline.
I don't know if you know this, but Sunday I made coffee and I threw away the coffee filter.
Yeah, you did.
I threw away the coffee filter, and then this morning I had to go to the trash can that was outside waiting to be picked up, and I had to go through the trash bag and find the filter.
Yeah, which is really great because we're the first house in the development.
Yeah.
So everyone leaving,
saw it.
go to work, got to watch you digging around in our trash.
Yeah. Like, honey, the old man is going through his own garbage.
Again.
Yeah. So that's how I started my day today.
Yeah.
And then I ended it by forgetting to push record. Now I don't know. It's like, what have I accidentally pushed, the wrong language or something? Getting old is, and I just started. I'm not that old. What is it going to be like this for the next?
Yes.
I don't know how long I'm going to live. It's a good thing.
Forever long. It's just going to get worse.
I don't know how it can really get worse. We were watching Only Murders in the Building. That's what we were doing before
it's
we
Gloria. I'm 100% convinced it's Gloria now.
Gloria is
the mom.
I thought you said it was Debbie. She was.
No.
What did you say? Gloria?
There's no Debbie.
Who's Deborah? You said Deborah.
No.
We were talking about Deborah.
I said Gloria. Gloria's the mom.
Okay, so you think it's her now. See, I have a theory.
Yeah.
I just told you my theory, and I don't think you know. So if you don't watch our Only Murders in the Building, you don't know anything we're talking about.
Right.
But we watch it every week, and we're really into it.
Yeah.
And
this was a really good episode, and I'm gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
This is the best
You think
season.
Yeah, it is.
Season.
I think I've been saying that. I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a very different season. It's so well written. Maybe the best. I think it should get an Emmy.
All the things. It should get all the things.
Yeah.
It's got a musical component. They could do a Tony. I don't know. Whatever.
You know what? Of everything in the show,
yeah.
Selena Gomez is kind of like she's like the least in the show, and she's the one that we really want to get an Emmy, right?
We do.
I mean, she's good, but I just feel like with Meryl Streep and Paul Rudd, I think they're focusing on some other stuff, and she might not get an Emmy this year.
That would suck.
I predict
she's really solid.
I predict that Paul Rudd is going to come back. And when you said you thought you think the mom has maybe she has I think the mom is Paul Rudd.
That's way too Scooby-Doo.
Let's see.
I think it's too Scooby-Doo. There's no way they're gonna pull off the mask and say, if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
I mean, if she says something like Reggie? That might.
If there's suddenly a really large sandwich that they have to compress.
Yeah. They got zoinks. Scooby snacks and stuff. It's been fun kind of figure it out because this one is really hard.
It's hard.
I think the last two I figured out within the second episode. I think I got it right. This one, not as much.
You did not figure out in the second episode that it was.
I did.
Amy Ryan.
Yep, I did.
No.
The first one I did. Last year was a little different.
Yeah.
This week or last week, somebody from the New York Times did an article and says that Martin Short's not funny.
Yeah.
And then there was like this huge wave. So it was weird. It was almost like people. When the first time I saw it, I thought, did Martin Short die?
Yeah.
Because everybody's
Right,
doing this
it's
tribute
like,
to Martin Short.
Yeah.
And
That's usually an indicator.
yeah. But everybody's kind of coming to his defense. And I think he's funny. I've always enjoyed Martin Short. I like his characters.
He's good. I mean, he's solid. He's just not.
He's over the top, and that's part of what some people don't like about him.
I mean, as you know, huge fan of Will Ferrell over here.
Hmm.
I love Over the Top.
Yes.
The cowbell sketch to this day is my favorite. I will come for you.
I'm just saying for me, not the funniest thing. Here's what I don't like about that sketch.
How are we even married?
This is what I don't like about the sketch, and it's what I don't like about a lot of Saturday Night Live anymore is the breaking character, them laughing at themselves. And it's like at some point, I think someone started laughing live on the show, and then everybody thought that was so funny, and then it was just like, oh wow, we got a lot of attention. Now we're going to have to do it all the time. And now it just seems like, I mean, it's like Jimmy Fallon. That's all he ever did.
That's what I was going to say was that it's just Will Ferrell never broke character.
No, he did. I saw him a couple times.
Fully committed to that cowbell,
but there was some laughter.
But Jimmy Fallon, screw him.
Yeah.
I didn't use the F word. You noticed that.
Right. But you did, like, the first thing you said, was that this time or the last time?
No, I started
it this time.
I started it with some swears. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. But anyway, I do like
my mom is
Martin
gone.
Short.
She can't fuss at me anymore.
Well, your mom would be right there saying it too.
And that's also true.
I like Martin Short. I like him in Only Murders.
Yes.
But the character he plays in Only Murders is kind of Martin Short. He's playing the Martin Short character, which is sort of schmaltzy showbiz guy. Right. And that, to me, is funny. It's over the top. You laugh at that kind of person.
Yeah. I mean, as I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
To this day, like cowbell.
Yeah.
Synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Him doing synchronized swimming. That whole skit was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
I have a one that I think is even funnier.
Which one?
I'm not trying to top you. It's just my favorite Martin Short guy.
What?
I'm trying to think for a second, because for a second I was like, was that Martin Short? And it is. It was Martin Short. Crap.
Ed Grimley?
No, I'm trying to think. It is Martin Short. So Martin Short plays this character who he's the owner of a Halloween costume company.
Okay.
And it's been revealed that the Halloween costumes are bursting into flames with the kids.
Oh God.
And his character, when he's trying to defend the costumes, that's my favorite Martin Short character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to look it up.
All right.
Don't look it up now.
Okay.
Don't do it while we're doing the show.
I'm looking it up. Okay. All right. I'll look into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not my favorite, but he's good. He's good. I wouldn't say he's not funny.
No, he's hysterical.
I wouldn't say that either, but he's not funny.
He's beloved.
He's beloved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about why you're on the show. I just asked you about an hour ago.
Yeah.
And you were like, no. And I was like, come on, let's just talk. You were like, I don't have anything to say. I was like, let's just talk. I have an issue because now that my gallery's closed and I'm spending a lot of time working at home, I don't know what's going on in the world. I don't talk to people who are out in the real world.
Yeah.
Like you. You're out in the real world.
Yeah.
You go to work, you meet people, you actually see human beings. You know what I saw today? It was yesterday. I was driving past a bus stop. We live in Atlanta. No, it's today. Today, I passed a bus stop. Someone's at the bus stop. They're wearing a black wool coat.
Right.
With gloves and a hat.
Yes.
And we live in Atlanta. And I was just like, oh, well, maybe it's a little cool out today. And I look, 80 degrees. 80 degrees.
Yeah.
This person standing there wearing.
That's what they do.
That's insane.
But
it isn't unusual, especially in Atlanta. I see it all the time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I can't wear clothes like that even in 30-degree weather.
Yeah. There's just it's how people are wired. When my first job when I came to Atlanta, my first real job when I came to Atlanta, because I did temp work for a while.
Yeah.
But my first real job was working in the chemistry department for a local university.
Okay.
And the department chair.
Did you poison anybody?
Did not poison anyone.
Okay.
As far as I know. Department chair, every day, no matter what time of year it was, always wore Birkenstocks with socks and shorts. Cargo short shorts. Not shorts, but like cargo shorts.
In the winter?
In the winter time. And he would wear like a sweater with a scarf, but always shorts.
Was he like Scandinavian?
I think he was kind of German.
He's full of germs? What?
German?
Oh.
German.
He was a German man?
I mean, German American. Like,
okay.
He definitely, like he clearly was born and raised here, but I think his last name was of German descent.
Okay.
Yeah. But it never made sense to me. But then you have someone like our dear beloved friend Sabine. Or one of my dear beloved friends at work, Barbara, who both of whom, Haitian American women, will be 80 degrees out and they're covered head to toe and sweaters and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think just some people are wired that way. Me, not so much.
Right.
I like heat. I do like heat. I don't like a lot of heat. I also don't like a lot of cold, which is why I left the great tundra of Minnesota.
I want to experience, and I know I can, I want to experience a Minnesota winter.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. Because I never have, and you tell me I don't want to, but
It's awful.
I think I could do it. I think I'd be fine. And you like your family, I see, the Facebook posts, and they're like, oh, I can't wait till this is over, and I want to try it. I want to do it. I want to get into the 28-degree belows.
Ugh, no.
Yeah.
No.
I need to do that. I would live in Canada. I would live in Alaska. I would live, that show that I watch sometimes, the Alaska People.
Oh, yeah.
I would do
Life
that.
Below Zero or something.
I don't want to hunt my own animals. I don't want to hunt my own food. I would need to have like a food service to bring me delivery.
Yeah.
Do they have like a Caribou to go or something like that?
I think so.
Go Caribou.
It's kind of like Dunkin' Donuts, but it's like moose.
Dunkin' Moose.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, the Finland people.
No, it's Svalbard.
Oh, okay.
Svalbard, Norway.
How do you say that? Svalbard. It's with like SV.
SV. We our Scandinavian people like to use that combination.
Right.
Svalbard. It's a territory.
Right.
Norway. Mm-hmm. It's where the seed conservatory is, where all the seeds of the world are kept there underground.
Use that someday. Right.
I mean, it could be a trivial.
And when global warming happens, all of the people in Atlanta wearing coats right now will survive and go up there and get
They'll go to Svalbard and have some seeds and then plant it.
They won't be able to handle it because the winter will be so bad. And that's the way they die.
Well, all right. So can I just gush about Cecilia Blomdahl and Svalbard for just like 1 minute?
You do what you need to do.
So it's totally soothing to me. As you know, I'm in love with her dog Grim.
Right.
He's a Finnish Laphund.
Oh, let's do a little background. This is actually YouTube video, so you can people who are listening to us now can actually go to YouTube and look
100%.
this up. And it's called what?
It's I don't know.
Life Below Zero.
No, that's the Alaskan thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's just Cecilia Blomdahl, but
what?
But yeah, so she lives on Svalbard, it's the most northernmost town or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they just finish their polar summer, which is where it's sunny all day, right?
Okay.
And now they had their first sunset, and then they're going to start going to polar night. And their highs are in the 40s. Highs are in the 40s.
Okay.
During the summertime. You would love it.
Yeah.
She makes it look really comfortable. She has like an ice bath that she gets in her with a bathing suit. It looks so accessible and doable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're getting lied to. I think that it's actually really freaking cold. I think that if I went there, I would be miserable.
You would hate it, yeah.
I would hate it. But it doesn't look bad because she makes it look easy.
But it's easy for her. She's been doing it for a while, and she's from there. It's just like Haitian people who can wear the coats in the middle of summer.
Right, where they're like, oh, yeah, you could totally wear it.
They can wear a bikini in the middle of 40 below.
I can't handle it. Mm-hmm. I do want a Finnish Lapphund, though.
But it would be fun to go. See, I would do the winter there, too. I just want to see winters. I want to see a severe winter. I would like to see a winter so bad that I'm like, I never want to do this again.
I mean, that was my entire childhood.
Yeah, but not mine. I could do it.
We had to take the battery out of our car and plug it in.
Like in Fargo?
So that it would actually start the next morning.
Right.
I don't ever want to do that again.
Have Norm to make you some eggs.
Oh, my mom made the best cocoa.
Oh,
and she would force me to go outside. I was like, what was Ralphie's brother's name?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, so the kid with the snowsuit and all.
Right.
Like, it was that whole thing of getting me geared up to go outside. And I hated going outside because don't make me go outside when it's cold. It's terrible out there. Let me go to my room and read a book.
Did you ever lick a pole?
No, that's stupid. But I would get covered, like the whole thing with the idiot mittens, the whole 9 yards. And as soon as I was all zipped up, I had to go potty.
Oh.
And then I just would start to cry because she had to like take it all back off.
Yeah.
And put it all back on. And it was just, why? Why do you make children do that? Why can't you just read a book? Why are we against learning?
Well, okay. So this week is fall. It's the first day of fall.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do remember.
First time. Yes, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. It's my favorite day.
Does that song actually make a reference to fall?
Well, it just refers to the first
but
day
it's
of
just
fall.
like that's when they met, but it's not.
It's why it's so special because it's the first day of
but
fall.
it's not necessarily a fall song. They're not talking about autumn in any way.
I mean,
unless the person they're talking to is named Autumn.
Listen.
What are you doing? What's up?
I'm looking up the lyrics.
We don't need the lyrics. I'll have to pay royalties if you read the lyrics.
No. I mean, I don't have to read them out loud. I also don't feel like Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're so cool.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't come for us. They'd be like, "Oh, you love good music too."
I like that song. My favorite was Boogie Wonderland, though, and that happens later in the year.
That's a good one.
It's not September. The Boogie Wonderland is probably more in December. Toward the end of December is Boogie Wonderland.
Okay, so there's nothing specifically fall, but I mean. There's no better lyric than Badia.
True.
Badia.
Sung by Philip Bailey. Really loud. The falsetto.
Exactly.
Sure.
That's beautiful.
I agree. What are your goals for fall though this year? There are a lot of things happening.
Homework.
I know. You're studying. You're in school.
Yes.
Getting a master's degree.
Yes.
Being a smart person.
Trying. A little bitter. So I got my...
You say better or bitter?
Bitter.
You're bitter for getting a master's degree?
No, I'm bitter. So I don't like my current professor.
Oh,
and I just got my most recent grade and I'm mad.
Oh.
I'm a little mad.
Well, you could talk about your professor on the podcast. You can criticize them and say really bad things about them. Because they won't know who you are. And we allow it here. Apocalyptic.
I'm so... ragey right now about it. It was actually one of my biggest concerns when you asked me to be on the podcast is because all I could think of is how much I'm so mad right now.
Yeah.
Because I am a straight A student.
Right.
And you gave me an 82.
I didn't.
No, I know you didn't. I'm
okay.
like conceptually this other person.
Yeah, but you're projecting onto me.
I am, and I want to punch that person in the face. And I know that's really a terrible thing to say, but I'm not happy right now.
Right.
Yeah. I want to, because, you don't take a kid who's a straight A student, who's like an overachiever, and give them an 82 and not expect that person to be a little violent.
Well, I just wonder, people like that who are in positions to to be that way to other people. It's just like, is it a power trip for
It's
them? Are they enjoying that?
I don't
are they just do they just not know? Trips. Are they really trying to be legitimately helpful?
No.
Or are they just is it the thing where they're just like, haha, I'm going to show you?
I think I'm going to show you.
Well, they don't really know you though, so why would they have a thing for you?
It's just a power. No, I think what I've heard is they do this to everybody.
Okay.
So it's not specific to me.
But wouldn't that be like counterproductive of like actually the institution making money?
Well, no, because if you have to retake the class, they make more money on that, right?
Okay, who does that?
I just feel like this professor had her career dreams vanquished,
right?
Of working for the DMV.
Oh.
It's like she was too nice or something or too mean for the DMV. They're like, we can't have you. You're too much. Like we actually are a little bit nice at the DMV. You're gonna have to work somewhere else. And she's like, okay, well, let me go destroy people's hopes and dreams.
I have a thing that is a little controversial. Your professor, I think, is Paul Rudd in disguise.
No, it is no. Yes,
I think
you
so.
And your Scooby Doo.
I think everyone. We're gonna discover that pretty much everyone is Paul Rudd.
No, there's no. I mean. I know a lot of women who would not mind for everyone to be like Paul Rudd.
Right.
It's kind of like the human version of Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah. What? Wait.
Everything I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me.
Oh, I never liked Tootsie Rolls. They're kind of nasty. They're like chewy poop.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that Sir Lewis Cheddar would disagree with you.
That's my favorite stripper name, Chewy Poop. She wasn't a great stripper, I'll tell you that right now.
Ooh.
And now, Chewy Poop.
I feel like Chewy Poop sounds less like a stripper and more like a baseball player.
Really bad porn star. Okay, so do you have fall goals? I just think all of this stuff's happening.
I do have a fall goal.
Okay.
And that is, and so I don't want to start talking about death again, even though we've been talking about only we're in the building.
Yeah.
But, our tradition has been for the last however many years, the entirety of our relationship has been my mom would come and spend the fall with us.
Right.
So it's, with her gone.
Yes.
I'm thinking we need to find some new traditions or something to kind of mix it up so that I don't get immersed in grief again.
Sure.
And I really liked what we did last year, where we, was it Thanksgiving or Christmas that we went over to Lisa and Dave's house and had that little I think it
was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I think Christmas Eve.
Maybe it was.
Could have been Christmas, but I think it was Christmas.
Yeah, and it was so nice to kind of break up the change of how we normally do everything, and it felt good to try and do something new. So
we watched their dog get pajamas for Christmas.
That was pretty precious.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's always fun, like seeing other people's traditions.
Yeah.
I don't want people to see ours.
It's mostly Hallmark movies.
Yeah, that's why. I think it's boring. No one would be impressed with our traditions at all. But I do feel like there's a lot of things that are happening. October, when fall kicks in, Halloween stuff, it's always great.
Right.
Atlanta Pride Parade is the best thing that Atlanta does. Every weekend, it seems like there's some big event. It's just like it's packed full of things to do, and I just start getting really excited. And then just going for a drive in the fall, going up in the rural areas.
Yeah.
Up
North Georgia.
Yeah. I mean,
so pretty.
How can you not be excited about
it? And Pride Festival in Atlanta is such a beautiful.
It's the best. It's the
so
best thing to do. Yeah.
It's like feel good, happy, just celebrate life kind of event. It's so great.
I always try to sell it on the podcast. If you're like 4 hours, within 4 or 5 hour drive, it's worth coming down.
100%.
Like all day.
Yeah.
It's good.
You will actually like people again.
But I feel like, maybe it's because I spent 2 years, the last 2 years, we never got to do anything.
No.
Because I was working at the gallery. And we weren't we didn't have a schedule that synced up.
No.
So my days off weren't yours.
Right.
And so the last 2 years we didn't get to do anything. So this year I want to do stuff.
Yeah. But I got to do homework.
Go to farmers markets. And so I could drive while you study.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
I get car sick though. So then you'd be like driving, I'd be throwing up.
Oh. Okay. Don't do that. That wouldn't be cool.
No.
Well, I do feel like we should do more stuff. We should get out and do more things.
No, it's fun.
What do you remember? This is totally changing the subject. Do you remember your very, very, very first concert? And I mean like, I'm going to say like rock concert or something, but I mean like real concert, not like, a high school band or something, but I mean like a real concert. Do you remember your first concert?
I do. And so my sister and I were actually talking about this while I was up there.
Marshall Tucker Band?
No.
I'm trying to think of your era.
80s. It was the 80s.
80s. I don't know
Yeah.
if you would have seen the 80s.
Think about my family.
Some Spanish 80s band. Ricky Martin.
No. Older.
Ricky Martin's dad. He's older. I don't know. Who are those guys that did the Macarena?
No, way older than that's 90s.
Okay.
Macarena was oh my god.
I'm giving up. I had two guesses and you smacked me on both of them. So I don't know. Jose Feliciano. Speaking of
closer.
Speaking of Fargo.
All right, hang on a second.
In Julio Iglesias.
To all of the girls I loved before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That was my first concert.
Was he?
Yeah.
Julio?
Minnesota State Fair.
Get out. I just guessed. Was it really?
Yeah, 100%. My mom was completely in love with Julio Iglesias.
Wow.
And so my parents got tickets. He was performing at the Minnesota State Fair, the Great American Get Together.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of echo on him. I've never understood. He's still alive, right? I never understood. What is he?
I don't think he is.
I think he is.
His son's still alive.
I know his son's still alive. He's married to a tennis player.
Oh, he is.
Anna Kournikova or whatever her name was. Anna Korn on the Cob. I don't remember.
No, he's 79 years old.
I know he's still alive.
2
and
years.
I just wonder if he's like.
He was 2 years younger than my mom. My mom had such a crush on him. She was a cougar.
I just wonder if like when he goes what if he goes to a restaurant and he orders and everything he orders is like there's this big echo on it. Like that's his natural voice.
I mean, it could be. He did not have a strong voice.
No,
but he was much beloved.
And then somebody was just like, who we need to pair him up with
is
Willie Nelson.
100%.
Yeah,
that's totally a perfect combination.
That's a couple. I don't remember my first concert, but it's one of two.
Yeah.
And they're very different.
Okay.
Completely different.
Yeah.
I think it was Barry Manilow, though.
Barry Manilow, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's either Barry Manilow or Van Halen with David Lee Roth.
Very different.
That's what I'm saying. Now, they were both... See, I think it was Van Halen. But in my mind, for a long time, I told people it's Barry Manilow. But I think I might have told them a lie. Because I saw Van Halen in 1981.
Okay.
It was sophomore in college, I think. Maybe a freshman, but I think sophomore. Yeah, I think it was sophomore. And I went to see Van Halen.
Uh-huh.
And because it was the year or right at the time when Valerie Bertinelli married Eddie Van Halen. Because I was I was crushed.
She betrayed you.
Yeah, I was crushed. And I was like, well, I got to go see who this jerk is that she's married to. And then I went, and I was like, immediately I was a fan. I loved him.
Yeah.
But I would say like the next year I went to see Barry Manilow at the Copacabana. That's not a bad show. I mean, Barry was cool.
Yeah, he's very gifted. Mm-hmm. We have a panther bear.
I know he wants
to break it.
Well, the cats are always trying to get in when I'm doing a show. That's the way to do. But I don't know. First concerts are interesting because a lot of times you go with your parents.
Right. Well, that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
So the first concert I paid for as an adult. Oh, Panther Bear opened the door. Hello.
Somehow he did.
Hello, Atticus the Batticus Catticus. Hello.
Okay.
So first concert I paid for, there was a show in Tampa.
Okay.
And I think it was this one. And so it was 7 seconds.
7 seconds.
Yeah. Fire Hose,
Firehouse or fire hose?
Fire hose.
Okay. Okay.
It was this punk show.
Okay.
And my friend Kaylin Wilson, she twisted her ankle in the mosh pit.
Oh.
And I remember that kind of sucked because we had to like get her back to
to
Sarasota
show.
But it was such a great show. It was so much fun. It was either that being my show or it was De La Soul, which blew my mind because I love De La Soul.
Oh, I had to shut the door.
Yeah. Sir Lewis Cheddar had some stuff to talk about.
Cats coming in, barking dogs.
It's, it's
when you're on the show, we have that. When it's me, it's never that.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm keeping them quiet down there and trying to.
Most unusual concert? Do you know?
Most unusual concert?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. What was...
I can't even remember all the concerts I've been to. Not that many, really.
The best, most unusual... Okay, so two.
Mm-hmm.
One was it either would have been Guar, which of course...
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah. And that was at Dragon Con back in the day when I was a young person. Or The Voluptuous Horror of Karen Black.
Okay.
Which was pretty amazing as well. So either one of those. Probably Guar, only because I got to actually meet them in person at their compound in Virginia. And they were like some of the most chill people I'd ever met in my life and really like very likable.
Yeah.
Which I had not anticipated because their show horrified me so much. But I actually really liked them in person.
I'm just fascinated by that. That and like first album that you own, stuff like that. But first concert's always kind of cool, I feel like. And I don't know. You never forget your first concert, do you?
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Well, we were talking about because I'm thinking we might go see that Talking Heads film this weekend.
Yeah.
I never got to see them in concert. So I'm kind of excited because I feel like it's sort of like seeing them in concert.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
We're going to see the Stop Making Sense movie, which I've seen a gazillion times, but I'm going to watch it on IMAX.
It's going to be so cool.
It'll be awesome.
IMAX.
Okay. I feel like we should wrap it up, but I do have a question. I want to talk just really quick.
Okay.
I've been thinking about it.
Right.
The whole idea of things that are sacred. Sometimes I think about these kind of things. What to you? What would you consider? What is sacred to you? What would you say if you were describing to somebody what in your life you would consider sacred? What is, first of all, just what is sacred to you in life, not definition, but what would you consider to be sacred? Traditions of some sort, your family.
Okay, so more of the secular definition.
Yeah, well, I don't know secular. I'm just saying, is there
something treated with great respect or reverence?
Do you own something sacred that you would consider sacred? Because I mean, like sacred and holy, I would say some people consider them the same thing, right?
Well, I mean, sacred typically. I mean, so being raised Catholic, I think sacred sacraments, those kind of like
right. There's
a religious association, so there's nothing from that perspective in my life that would qualify as sacred.
So nothing. So like last week, I talked a lot about, not a lot, but a little bit about what I call the gospel of blasphemy. So to you, there's no such thing as blasphemy. There's nothing that's sacred that you can blaspheme against.
Not really, no.
Because I'm not going to say, to me, sacred and taboo are two totally different things.
Right.
So I was talking about the Agori, is that it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they do things like having sex with dead people,
right.
Eating poop.
Yeah.
That's not really. I don't think that's violating things that are sacred. I think that's participating in taboo.
Correct.
So to me, sacred is something that you consider better than normal. So it's like something, and it's usually wrapped up in a religious connotation.
Correct.
So it's just like some people would say that the Bible is sacred, and if you own a family Bible, that might be the gift or the material object that you consider the most sacred thing in your house, perhaps, or a picture of your grandparents or something like that could be sacred.
Right.
And I don't know that I have anything that I would consider sacred.
I mean, so again, since I don't believe in God or religion, really, there's nothing that has a religious connotation in my life that has that kind of meaning.
But what about the marriage vows?
So
is that sacred to you?
I mean, we promised each other.
But the promise is kind of is being sacred, right? I mean, it's just like you don't want to violate those. There's this.
It's a contract. I mean, that's different than sacred. It's like we created a contract with each other. This is what we've committed to.
Yeah, but
I think the closest thing, like in a secular way, would be, I guess, almost like the idea of like either, in other religions, the idea of like an amulet or a avatar, some kind of like significance thing. So there's certain things that I have held on to because they have meaning that are important to me. You know, so like in the other room, I have Morgan in a cocktail jar, and I have one of her shirts that I'll never fit into because she was like a size 0.
An ex-friend of yours that's how you remember. Yeah. So the memory is kind of sacred.
It's this receptacle of my memory, right? And so those are things that, it's like why I kept all of Papa's paintbrushes and his easel and stuff. Like to me, there's a meaning in there that
sacred energy.
Yeah, sure. It's just like a special energy that's has reverence to me.
Okay.
That's the closest thing I've got.
I don't have a lot of things in my life that are sacred, but I do like the idea that relationships are sacred to me. And especially like if you're talking about like a marriage relationship, there's a certain amount, and it's not like it comes with that label of sacredness, but holding it as sacred, I think, is a valuable thing. It's just like you willfully say, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to value it. I'm going to coddle it. I'm going to keep it sacred. I'm not going to violate it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to belittle the other person. I'm going to work on this. So I'm going to make this sacred. And I feel like there's some value to that. I feel like if there's anything sacred, I don't have a lot of like things that are sacred.
Right.
But I do, and I don't know, people not necessarily. To me, religion and spirituality, the objects involved in those things are not sacred. A church is not sacred. I don't see a lot of things like that as being sacred. But I like the idea that relationships themselves should be and could be, and to me kind of are sacred.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's an okay definition, I think. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking over at the black paw coming through the door.
It's sacred. It's very sacred. All right. Should we call it?
Sure.
Thanks for being on the show, and thanks for doing it twice. I rarely do that. I think just because you're up here, and it kind of destroys my ritual of how I normally do.
Your sacred ritual?
It's just the way I'm just used to doing certain things. 678-348-0008 is the way you can contact the show if you want to. Talk about anything. Tell me what you consider sacred, if anything. I know a lot of my Facebook friends who listen to the show don't have a lot of things that are sacred. They're a lot like me.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Or even talk about what your plans are for the fall.
Yeah, you could just make any kind of
give us
comment.
Some new ideas. We need some new traditions.
Even you can text that line too if you don't want to leave a message. You can text. People text that sometimes, and I will read your if you want me to. If you don't want me to, tell me that.
Yeah.
But you can also send me an email, rick@apocalyptic.com, or communicate on Facebook. I'm there. I'm also on Threads. I'm on Threads. You're still on Threads.
You're more hip than I am.
And Instagram. We're there. So that's the way that you can reach out and communicate, unless you're Paul Rudd, and then
you're gonna rip off your mask, and there you'll be.
I would have gotten away too if it wasn't for you
meddling kids. Yeah.
All right. Let's make some fall plans.
All right, let's do it.
Good. I'll see you guys probably somewhere around Thursday.